You know, I used to think size mattered until you sleep around a bit and it truly is how it's used.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Hey guys, it's Hink here. So today we have a good one. I actually really like this video by Cut. If you guys haven't seen my last video on basically men saying their penile size, you should go watch it after this one. But in this video, we're going to actually finally once and for all answer the question, does size matter? And guys, yes it does. The end. Of course it matters, but we're going to actually talk about what we can learn from this video and actually the good talking points that they bring up. And so for those that are not familiar with these types of videos, Cut will pick basically 100 random people and ask them to report and basically ask them a question, okay? And in today's video, it just happens to be, does size matter? So let's get into it.
Science?
Science.
Does size matter?
No.
No.
No, it only matters if like the person doesn't have confidence in their body and in their ability to deliver.
So guys, there's a lot of like decent points right there. Most importantly, all these people are like, no, size doesn't matter. I mean, to me, it's kind of stupid. Like if size truly did not matter, this video wouldn't have 6.5 million views because it would be not an issue. It's so stupid to me. If you have to ask the question, does it matter or not, then it matters. But this guy does bring up a good point about the fact that confidence matters a lot more. Guys, there's so many things that matter more than the size of your D. And if you actually watch this video, you will see that so many people are like, it really doesn't matter, or it doesn't matter that much.
Does size matter?
Kind of.
Size does matter.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, a big size is good.
In general, I'd say it definitely does matter.
It's more fun when it's bigger.
Here you actually have a lady, I won't say the only one being honest, because I do think all these other people are being honest, but it's like, to me, there is like a size minimum, guys. And if you haven't seen my video with Eden, like erotic, you should watch that video about talking to a sex coach about size. But there is too small, guys, just like there is too big. But typically too small is when we're talking about a literal definition of a micro penis, which is basically below or right at 3 inches. And that's literally because of lack of development. It's not just like, oh, he's small. It's like, no, he has a medical condition that led to his penis being small. That is actually correctable. And guys, I do think it's one of those things that within reason, the bigger it is, it can allow more options. I'll just put it like that. So more fun. Like if you want to do, I don't know, like reverse cowgirl or whatever, and you're right at 3 inches, like that's going to be very hard just to stay penetrated in different positions. And so there is a benefit to having some size, guys. Like there's just no way around it. It's cope if you're saying that there's not that.
Does the size matter?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. It just does. Can't we just leave it at that?
And so I like this guy. He's like, oh, it just does. Can we leave it at that? It's like, oh, yeah, no shit, guys. Like we're sitting here asking this question. People are interested in it. Like, of course it matters. But you have to understand the question is not, do women want a big penis? That is not the question that they're asking. The question that they're asking is, does it matter? Okay? Yes, it does.
If you like a micro penis, it's kind of like hard to work with. Like,
It's like if I ordered a pizza and it was this big, I would be really upset.
So guys, once again, like if your penis is too small, there is literally physical limitations with what you can do, certain positions that you can have. As we'll see in this video, spoiler alert, there are people who prefer very small penises. But I do believe that there is a too small and that just like there is a too big, guys.
I like at least medium to big, not too small.
Does size matter? Yeah, absolutely. Because if it's too big, I don't know what to do with it.
The other extreme, if it's too big. Now, the key thing that they're talking about or failing to talk about is what is. What would make this video really interesting if they were like, does size matter? And then say like, what is your ideal size? And then have somebody hand them like a ruler or a 3D model so you can actually get an idea of what they're talking about when they say big versus small. Now, guys, if you haven't seen my video that I did based on the hymns, when the models actually made 3D models of like what their ideal size was or what's big to them, it would blow your mind that a lot of women think that 5 inches non-bone pressed is quite big, actually, believe it or not. Check out that video after this. Once again, okay, in this published study right here, the ideal size based on real 3D models that women wanted for a long-term relationship was 6.3 inches in length by 4.8 inches in girth. So we're not talking about these massive like 14-inch hogs that actually don't exist unless you're a horse. So please use some common sense, guys. And guys, along with that, the average length of a vaginal canal is only about 2.5 inches, okay? And when it's aroused and retracts, it's only about 5 inches. You have to actually keep in mind some female anatomy here.
There are people with petite penises that are thoughtful and caring.
That's just like a guy saying like my boobs matter, right? I hope the man has a little bit. You know, they can't be like the deal breaker.
So guys, like, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but if you ask a woman what was her worst sexual experience, most of them are going to say with a more well-endowed guy, because they think they can just get away with, oh my gosh, I have a big peepee. I don't have to worry about or learn how to like do different things to actually please a woman or man for that matter. Now, what is an important thing that we need to establish is that we're assuming it's like, okay, well-endowed guys that are bad in bed. Like, they're not talking about the well-endowed guys that actually know what they're doing. And so there's like a big glaring hole there, no pun intended. And I do think that if you're a more well-endowed guy and you know what to do with it, like, you can actually have some very positive encounters. That doesn't mean you need to be very well-endowed, but it's not to say like, oh, if you do have a big D, like you're hosed, you're done. Ask my boy 19 Expansion 2X if you need a reminder, or where I'm sure he will tell you about it if you go on Reddit.
Does size matter?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it does.
Yes, size does matter.
I love a nice sized dick.
I'm a bigger woman. I gotta be able to like feel something.
So this is an interesting point. And so once again, guys, like some women do prefer larger, but you're failing to understand. Some of you guys are getting triggered right now. They're not saying large is like 8x6, guys. They're just saying, yeah, I prefer bigger. But what is bigger? That is the glaring missing piece from these videos that make these videos totally worthless, to be quite honest, in my opinion, unless you're making content off of them. Now, interesting, there is an obese woman talking about, well, I got to be able to feel something. So guys, in my video actually that I made on female anatomy, if you haven't seen that, check it out. There's actually a study that shows that based on MRI imaging, women that are obese have longer vaginal canals. And so it does make sense. So pro tip, guys, if you want to feel bigger, only date very thin women. I'm not fat shaming. I'm just telling you how to hack the system.
It's just about like the ability to reach the spot.
I like to feel myself like stretching.
So you might hear this lady talking about, I want to feel myself stretching, and be like, whoa, like once again, she wants something massive. Guys, we don't know what that is. That might be just something that's within that average range, or maybe even just the upper end of average. That is enough to give her that sensation of stretching. However, it is important to note that she is talking about girth in this video. And so most people are like, oh, does size matter? Think length. Like, girth is the actual important part of this, guys. And there have been studies which have shown that women prefer girth over length like 9.5 times out of 10. And once again, guys, when women were actually handed 3D models to say, what is your preferred size? The girth that they chose was right at 4.8 inches, okay? That is within the average range of girth. Mind you, it's towards the upper end of that average range, but still, it's within that average range. So don't spiral watching this video.
Size matter?
It just depends on the person.
That's definitely a factor. I think it matters the same way that money matters. You need enough to be comfortable, and then beyond that, it doesn't matter so much.
So this is actually one of the best takes that I've ever seen when it comes to penis size. It's like, that is a solid take. Like, you just like money, you want to have enough where you're comfortable. Once you get to that point when you're comfortable, anything excess past that, you know, yeah, it's a nice bonus. Personally, I don't think you can have like too much money, where I do think you can be too big, but overall, that's actually one of the best takes that I've seen on any of these videos regarding size.
Does size matter?
No.
I don't think that size matters.
It's not the size of the boat, but the motion of the ocean.
The size of the boat, motion of the ocean thing, like, I don't think that's cope. I think there's a lot of truth to that, as we've seen by most people that actually report what they prefer. However, I do think there's just like a hint of copium in there, because if your girl prefers deep penetration in order to get over the top, it doesn't matter how good your motion in the ocean is if you can't actually reach that E spot or that A spot. Now, that being said, there are very simple things you can do, like changing the position, moving her legs back, whatever, that can allow for that deeper penetration. There is kind of a minimum size. I guess if you're average, it's more so about the motion of the ocean. But if you're actually a smaller guy, sometimes you just need a bigger boat. But, you know, fortunately, there is something you can do about it, guys, which is what my channel is about, is using science and actual published medical literature to actually get bigger. So stay on my channel, watch my videos, or of course, there's my enlargement course below. But the point of this video is not that you need to get bigger, guys. That's not the point of my channel either, but it is offering you tools if you want to get bigger.
What's average?
7 inches, right?
Jesus Christ. What's average 7 inches? I just feel bad for her because she's either an idiot or she's been lied to. I do believe that there's average guys that have been like, oh, I'm knowing damn well they're 5.5 inches, which is actually right on the upper end of average, but tell the girl that they're like 7 inches or something. And so she's like, I guess 7 inches because she's been lied to, basically. But no, guys, the average is right around 5.2 inches bone pressed, period, the end. I'm not going to debate you in the comments. Please leave your comments because every comment helps. But that is the statistical facts, guys.
What's the smallest penis you've ever done?
5?
What's the biggest?
6? I don't know.
So that lady actually cracked me up. I think that's pretty funny. That she was like, oh, so dramatic. Like you were going to think she was going to say this massive hog. Then she said 6. Once again, guys, they're talking about what they can see. They're not like, well, I once dated a guy and I jammed a ruler into his pelvis and he was 7 inches. No, they're talking about estimating what they can visibly see. Bone press measurements matter when you're tracking your enlargement gains. Outside of that, they really don't matter that much. And guys, it once again is why you need to be at a healthy weight. And ideally, you need to be on the leaner side because it doesn't matter if you're packing 8 inches. If 3 inches are covered in a fat pad, you're still going to seem like you have a 5-inch penis, okay? Once again, that's going to be 5 inches visible, which in my opinion is big, okay? 6 inches visible is very big. If you guys haven't seen my video on the ideal size, like please watch the video on the ideal size where I break down the science more. But quite honestly, if she's saying the smallest D that she's ever had was still 5 inches non-bone pressed, like that's a pretty good size. But once again, she's just guesstimating. She doesn't know what 5 inches is, most likely.
The size matter.
I feel like this is like a catch-22 because I'm gonna say no, and then everyone's gonna be like, oh, that's because you got a small dick, bro.
So many of these guys that are like, no, size doesn't matter. To me, what it reminds me of is like guys that are like, a dunk is only 2 points. It's like, dude, you're only saying that because you can't dunk. Like a dunk is way more than 2 points when as far as like changing the entire momentum of a game or emasculating another man. There's no feeling like that. And yes, guys, your boy is over 40 years old and can still tomahawk dunk. Holler at your boy. Maybe one day I'll put my mask on and upload a video of me doing it. Leave a comment if you want me to upload a video or short of me slam dunking a basketball.
When you got 9 inches to work with it.
When you've got 9 inches, like, and in fairness, I think this dude is being funny. Who knows? You never know, guys. You can't judge just by appearance how much a guy is packing. Statistically speaking, guys, here's a paper. They looked at over 15,000 men, and the largest size that they came across was 8.2 inches. We're talking about a 1 in 15,000 chance of having a D size of 8.2 inches. And in this video of 100 people, half of which are women, so 50 people, and one of them has a 9-inch D, extremely unlikely, okay? Not zero, but guys, 9 inches is like mythically rare, okay? In a room of 10,000 people, the chance of anybody being bigger than 9 inches or bigger is infinitesimally small, like 0.0001%. I will say that snort at the end actually does make me think he might be 9 inches.
I got good girth. I'll say that. I can work on the length though. Girth is solid though.
But guys, like, what do you want me to say? He's like, oh, this obese dude. It's like, I know I have good girth, but I could work on the length. Honestly, dude, there's not much you would need to do. Like, you need to lose weight to have a bigger D. That dude looks like he's clearly, I would say, probably 150 to maybe 200 pounds overweight. If he were to lose 50 pounds, I guarantee you he'd gain an extra half an inch in length, at least. He would feel much better about himself. And once again, I'm not fat shaming. I'm just saying, fuck it, it's medical. I'm sure he has trouble looking down and seeing his D just with the amount of adipose tissue that he has. Yes, he could work on his length. He could do that very easily. I won't say very easily because some people, there's a lot of reasons for why people are overweight. I'm just saying that is the easiest thing to do to actually gain additional size would be losing weight.
The size matter.
I would hope not.
Uh-oh.
Size does not matter.
This is interesting to me because it's a gay dude saying that size does not matter. Certainly, it's not like his opinion isn't valid, but when me personally, I'm interested in a heterosexual relationship where there's literally anatomic differences between like a male rectum and even prostate stimulation, whatever it may be, and like actual vaginal anatomy. To me, that opinion is null and void if size matters. I got nothing but love for my gay bros, but that's kind of stupid to ask somebody who is not engaged in the same type of sexual activity that you are, like what their opinion on size is. I don't know.
They're not like, show me. And then like, okay, you pass.
And I like this girl. Like, guys, like if you are dating a girl and like early on in the relationship, before you guys even get intimate, like size comes up and she's like, oh, wait, how big are you before we start dating? Like, please, for the love of Christ, like leave, block her on all forms of social media and go on about your life. I don't understand how much of an issue size is for some guys in the dating scene. Now, if you're out there on just Tinder, just swiping right on everything, just trying to get your D wet as much as possible, then that's one thing. But for me, like when I was dating, I was looking for high quality women that I would settle down with. And we're not going to get into the debate, Callie Q, like the Andrew Tate meme about like what a high quality woman was, but it damn sure wasn't a woman that was interested in the size of my D. That did not come up it like hardly ever. Now, you guys know my villain origin story. It just blows my mind that that would be something that some of you guys think would come up like that. And it honestly just makes me question, what kind of girls are you guys like going after?
If you know how to have sex good, you can do it good. Penis size is definitely one of those things where it's like, the bigger the penis, the more manly you are, right? And I feel like it's really, really toxic.
So that guy is like spot on. It is so toxic. And like, I feel like that, I think you should leave just.
What have they done to us? What did they do to us?
Because there is this whole, I mean, honestly, for as long as I can remember, and I'm sure generations before, but like, I feel like there is this cultural push to try to make men more insecure about the size of their D. And they're using like prosthetics in videos and prosthetics in Netflix shows. And, you know, you have all these women talking about, oh, how they love big Ds and how it's glorified. And guys, that's just not reality. Like, if you haven't seen my video about Hollywood, like, check it out. I'm not saying I have the solution for it, but I do think it's kind of dog shit the way that we get indoctrinated to think that we need to have this massive slong to have value.
I enjoy sucking small dicks.
And guys, you have to understand that there are genuinely people who prefer smaller Ds. I personally have never partook in a meat cigar, but if I were to, I would not want some like massive thing, you know, choking me down my throat and making me gag. Maybe TMI there, you know. I got love. Maybe some people are into that. Okay, whatever, to each their own. I'm just saying, anatomically speaking, like I would see if I was a gay bro or if I like smoking meat cigars where might be a benefit in a smaller size. But I understand that's not necessarily the case in the gay community. Okay, if you're in the gay community, sound off in the comments. Let me know how stupid and ignorant I am.
What's the perfect size?
Those people with bigger dicks, like, I think the size is enough. So they just, you know.
So you're admitting that you don't have a big penis?
That poor guy. Like, I don't know if that's a fake reaction or if he's like really like, what is that subreddit? r/people inside. Like, that should go on there because that dude is just like, oh, damn.
Men with small penises try to make up for it by doing all the other stuff for like hours. And you're like, please stop. Like, did I come here for dick or did I come here for, you know what I'm saying?
So that's I like that they have different opinions at least. There are some women, some that I know very, very personally, that do not prefer like things like foreplay and, you know, when you're a like a DJ, like if you know what I mean, they don't prefer that type of stimulation. They prefer deep penetration. That's the type of girl that you're with. She's not going to want all that. She's going to want like a deeper penetration. Now, those girls are rare. Women, statistically speaking, it's about 1 in 5 can actually even get over the top from penetration. But it is nice that they have some change in perspective.
I've never had sex, so I can't say.
I actually really like that lady. I mean, I don't know if she's telling the truth, but I just think it's refreshing that there are women out there that aren't just like, you know, OnlyFans man. I'm not trying to get too pilled or whatever. The girl that I'm with, I'm her one and only. Like, I know that the girl that BD is with, he's her one and only, and possibly vice versa. But the point is, guys, I'm not trying to be that old man yelling at the clouds. I do think we're over-sexualized and things like OnlyFans and like all of this stuff has come about. But I digress. Body count matters, guys, when it comes to interpreting size. So here's a paper here that shows that the women that had a higher count statistically preferred bigger size. So here's another hack for you guys. If you want to feel big, get a girl with a very low body count, and chances are you'll be her biggest, okay?
Penis size mattered
In junior high,
Man, yeah, dick size was everything.
kids are always like, hey, what size dick do you have? And they're always like, 8 inches, 7 inches. I'm like, these kids are 13 and 14, have 8-inch dicks. I am not doing well in my life.
So, like, bro, what kind of, I mean, I don't know how many decades has it been since I was in junior high. Like, there are kids out there really just being like, bro, what that meat game like, bro? Like, just tell me. That's weird to me, okay? I remember a conversation with a couple of my friends. Now, in my case, if you haven't seen my villain origin story, like, I actually had both my pants and my underwear pulled down in front of my crush when I was in 7th grade. This was before I hit puberty, and so I was quite small. And of course, that rumor stuck with me, actually even into college, because there were some people that I went to junior high and high school with that still came to college and continued that rumor. So junior high, high school can be very cruel, so I get that. But guys, most importantly, guys lie, okay? Here's a paper here proving that guys lie. On average, they lie about their size by about an inch, okay? So if you ever ask a guy and he tells you what his size is, he's probably lying by about an inch. So guys, I hope you liked that video. If you made it this far, do me a big favor and just subscribe and leave a thumbs up on this video. If you need to reach me for coaching, for how to get bigger, or for injury coaching, patreon.com/DocHink. Guys, I put on over 1.5 inches in size and 1 inch in girth over the past 3 years, and I'll teach you how if you want to learn in my course, or guys, just watch my video, check out my playlist. It's all free information here. All right, guys, remember, be the best version of yourself. There's nothing wrong with self-improvement, but you are enough just as you are. All right, guys, peace and love.
Dr. Hink got the plug on the health, yeah. Got you thinking about your wealth, yeah. In his office, no stealth, yeah. Pinnacle of that below the belt, yeah. Checks and balance, he's managing. Working miracles, no damage. Got you covered, no panicking. Steady calm. In the clinic, no vanishing. Yeah, with Doc